I am Miss Val, and you're watching The American Athlete. The debunk is gymnastics is not brutal, it's tough. My name is Valorie Kondos Field. I am known in the gymnastics world as Miss Val, and I have been the head coach at UCLA for 29 years, recently retired. I've always looked at coaching as such an honor and responsibility that I felt was bestowed upon me. I felt like it was my calling. And I've never had children, but I imagine it's the same feeling that parents have. I mean, here you have this young human being, and as a coach, every single thing you say or don't say or do or don't do, that young person is interpreting. And that's the daunting part of it, because even though I'm saying this, hoping that's going to help you and for your own good, you're translating it as demeaning and putting down versus lifting up. And so that was always the challenge, is how to get them to take ownership of their feelings and their emotions and their thoughts, and not let me or whomever ever make them feel belittled or less valued. Oh my gosh, a home gymnastics meet at UCLA is magic. It's showtime. It's awesome. First of all, you have some of the best gymnasts in the world. Second of all, I always realized that athletics is entertainment. It's got to be very well produced. Then, because I come from a theater background, I would talk to our student athletes all the time about, you're on stage. You know, that balance beam may only be this wide, but it's a stage, and floor is a stage. And even when you're standing off on the side of vault, when you get ready to step onto that vault and salute the judge, you're being judged already. So with our student athletes, as soon as you come out that locker room and you enter through that tunnel onto the court, it's showtime. You know, in any championship of any sport, there's a lot of preparation, strategy, obvious hard work. A team has to gel. All these factors have to come together. And then there's luck, especially when you're winning and losing championships by that much. Is it harder to reach the top of the mountain or harder to stay there? I think the common answer is it's hard to stay there because the bullseye's on your back. But I don't feel that way. I felt like the frustration of getting so close. And I remember just thinking, what's it gonna take? Seriously, like, what's the secret sauce? And it takes perseverance is what it takes. I think our last championship in 2018 is such a great story and great example of this, because we were in fourth place the entire meet. We did not start off strong, and we were fourth. Like, okay, so we're gonna finish fourth. So we go into our last two rotations, and it was kind of like, let's just make sure we finish with no regrets. Our second to the last event was bars, and going over to beam, I was intercepted by TV, and they said, you know, how are you feeling being in fourth place going over to beam? And I said, well, it's a good thing I don't have an affinity for math, because in my mind, we can still win this thing. So I was hoping we could finish third, and one by one, the athletes just start PRing until the last person up, and it was so cool. You just heard this hush come across the arena, because everybody knew Oklahoma was going to win again, and they were on the other side of the arena, and you hear this hush coming over. Our last competitor, Pang Pang Lee, needed a 9.975 for us. I think it was to tie, and right before she mounted the beam, I always would remind her, slow your dance down so she don't get too excited up there. And before I could say anything, she grabbed my hands and she said, Miss Val, I'm going to enjoy every moment. This is the last routine of my life. And I'm going to soak in every moment. I was like, great. And just finished so beautifully. And our whole team was just sobbing. They were so excited. Not just Pang, but everybody was able to leave that meet with no regrets. And then her score comes up, and it's a perfect 10. And then you start seeing them pointing up to the leaderboard, and you see UCLA go from fourth to third to second to first. And I remember thinking, what's happening? I could not believe it.
Out of body.
out of body.
Miss Val has accomplished amazing things in her sport, but her triumphs do not end there. She's beaten cancer, shared her success and journey giving a TED Talk, and finished her very first book, something she hopes inspires others to be authentic.
I think everybody should write a book because it's really revealing of the things that you take for granted of yourself. Writing a book is very difficult because you get so sick of yourself. It's the same way I felt about my TED Talk. It's like I cannot listen to my words and my voice one more time. I do think everybody should write a memoir because I think that regardless of how little you may feel you're contributing to life, everybody contributes something that we can all learn from. I think it's very important in whatever you do in life, whatever path you choose, to figure out why do you want to do it, and then figure out your how. So if someone, and I have quite often, young adults come to me and say, I really want to get into coaching. And I absolutely believe this. It doesn't matter if you're coaching at an inner city school, at the YMCA, at a local gym, at a college, the Olympic Games. It's all helping young people make choices in their lives that are going to help them become a champion in life, superhero, through sport. So that is my why.